Fellas, you know Degree Cool Rush deodorant, right? Well, last year they changed the formula, and guys were mad about it. One dude even started a petition. So guess what? Degree heard us, admitted they messed up, and brought the original Cool Rush scent back exactly how it was. And it's in Walmart, Target, and other stores now for under $4. So grab some and remember why its cool, crisp, and fresh scent made it the #1 men's antiperspirant for the last decade. Degree Cool Rush is back, and it smells like victory for all of us.
The last thing you want to hear when you need your auto insurance most is a robot with countless irrelevant menu options. Which is why with USAA Auto Insurance, you'll get great service that is easy and reliable, all at the touch of a button. Get a quote today. Restrictions apply.
USAA. Hilton brings you new ways to stay, with experiences that let you capture the glory days. Introducing the Graduate Hotels. Each inspired by local college towns, these stays are always original and never boring. Get in touch with traditions all across the country and enjoy a stay that's a class above the rest. Book at Graduate Hotels with Hilton Honors Points at Hilton.com. It's a win-win. Hilton, for the stay.
From the Fifth Quarter Studios in Madison, Wisconsin, you are listening to High School Hoops with our hosts, Steve Collins and Jake Steger. Hey everybody, welcome to High School Hoops, episode 14. Before Jake and I get started about talking about finishing close to the basket and how you need to kind of practice finishing, those 3-footers are really important for any high school coach. I want to give a big shout out to Dr. Dish, our sponsor for 2018. Not only great people, but a great product, and it will help you win more basketball games. It will help you shoot the basketball better. Go over and check them out. Mention Coach Unplugged or High School Hoops, and you get $300 off. Also, before prices increase and that trial goes away, make sure you go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. Videos, resources, community, one-on-one calls, office hours, you name it. We're Netflix for basketball coaches. So go over and check it out. And subscribe and like. We would really do appreciate that. So let's head off to finishing at the hoop. All right, welcome to Cold December, episode 14 of I was just going to say Coach Unplugged, and that's not true. It is High School Hoops. I got it wrong, but Jake, what is today's episode?
I decided to be a little selfish today and focus on a topic that I value very much, and maybe you can chime in on what you think about it and how you as a high school coach have decided to address this topic in your practices and what you value within the topic. But our topic today is going to be really focusing on this idea of finishing around the rim. It's going to be why I think it's important to practice and how to practice it to be effective with it.
And so define what you mean by finishing at the rim.
So I would like to say that when I think about finishing around the rim, it's finishing shots within the lane. So
within a foot or two of the basket.
Yeah. Well, foot or two in front of the basket, and making the easy, as I would say, making bunnies. Okay,
so I'll tell you kind of how we emphasize this in practice, and then I'll let you, because if you looked at our little spreadsheet, I have like 2 things, and Coach has like 87 things in his little spreadsheet for this. Yep. So I'm sure you have a lot more to say than I do, but obviously it drives me bonkers when people don't finish close to the basket, because those are gimmies. They're not the easiest shot in basketball, because the free throw is the easiest shot in basketball because it never changes. And finishing close to the basket does change, right? You sometimes get contact, sometimes don't get contact, all that kind of stuff. So it's not the easiest shot, but it's one of the easier shots. Free throws being the easiest, in my opinion. Anyway, so what we do is if you miss a shot in our practice that's 2 feet or closer, you go to the side, you go off the court, and you have to do push-ups. You do 10 push-ups. Every time you miss one, doesn't matter. We don't even say anything. We have to yell at them early in the season to go do it. But anytime they don't finish, it doesn't matter if it's in a drill, doesn't matter if it's scrimmage, doesn't matter. If it's in a scrimmage, they jump off and someone jumps in for them. So it's a subtle thing that here's how you have – I can talk about drills that I do. I saw you had tons more than I do. But that's how I kind of emphasize the finishing, getting – when you get a bunny, you better put the ball in, because you're going to get fouled. You're going to get hacked. You better finish it close to the basket. So again, that's how I emphasize it. All the boys in the gym know it. But I think it is a point of emphasis. I'm not sure I break down as much as you do on getting close to the basket, but maybe I need to because of the way we finish some times. But all right, go ahead. Talk about what you do, Coach.
So the why. We like to often talk about the why on high school hoops. The why to me is that finishing is a huge momentum mover in the opposite direction when you miss shots. I think for high school boys or girls missing easy shots, the crowd, erupts. It can be very displeasing, and it can be a momentum change for your team by missing easy shots.
Right.
So I think, and they're high percentage shots. You can win a lot of games by making your high percentage shots around the rim. So I value those are two reasons why I think finishing is so important. Because it is a high percentage shot, which you can get a lot of points. And they're easier to make than other shots. And the other reason is why I think it's a huge momentum shift if you missed easy shots. I do agree with you when you talked about this idea of, emphasizing what you want. They know the expectation of if you're gonna miss a bunny, you're gonna do push-ups. So you do, hence in the culture of your team, the importance of making shots around. I think it's important to make it competitive. Just like free throw shooting, whatever. If you can make finishing competitive, it makes it really
everything competitive.
Yep, and we talked about that in other episodes.
Yeah.
If we can make everything competitive, practice just goes a lot smoother. I think also just don't choose breakdown. Don't choose finishing drills that are eye-appealing to you. We talk about this too. Again, the big light bulb of everything and plethora of things. Choose things that are breakdown drills or create breakdown drills that are within your offense, whether it's your zone offense or your man-to-man offense. I think you can create finishing drills right around there.
How you get the shots too.
Yep.
It's not just finishing, but how you're going to finish. And
So let's just take an offense that most people know, which is the flex offense, which is a flex screen. A lot of people come across the lane where some guy might be trailing you behind your back. Okay,
right.
What does that look like? Guy's going to have on your back. You want to go through the full motion of that and then finish with some contact around the rim.
Right.
If you have a ball screen, you might decide to do that with different ball screen looks and then finishing with the pad. So I think those are all.
Hey everybody, I hope you're liking that. Make sure you subscribe and like. Take 30 seconds, hit pause, go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. 14-day free trial while it still exists. All right, let's get back to Jake.
Those are all important ways that you can implement finishing in your practice. I've done things where you can implement it with free throw shooting. One of my favorite drills is called post finishing. We do it for a minute, and so the guy gets the ball. He's got to do 4 post moves on the right, 4 post moves on the left, and they got to do drop step baseline, drop step middle, up and under, and then they got to do a reverse pivot and jump shot.
Well, that's good.
They got to make all
like my 5-4 a little bit, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but they got to make all of them first, and then once they make all of them, they get to go to the free throw line, and then you chart it. So, like last year, the college record was like 10. So they made all their shots, and they got 10 free throws in that minute. So it makes it really competitive and adds free throw shooting at the end of it.
What do you call that?
I just call it post finishing. And instead of tracking the amount of makes or misses in the post, a lot about just by how they finish, get effectively with getting to both sides quickly and then getting to the free throw line.
Okay. So what I'm going to have you do too, before we forget, I'm going to have you draw that up on Fast Draw, and then I'll put it in the show notes for people.
Sounds great. I'll do that for you.
Yeah.
And you can change up the post moves depending on
age level. Yeah.
Age level, what player. If you have a very good post player, you shouldn't be working on drop steps all the time. Maybe you want to encourage them to work on their footwork.
Right.
Depending on it. The other thing is, you got to have some pads. You got to, I like to overemphasize. I don't know what the word I want to say is that it makes it more difficult than it is really in the game.
Right. Yes. I mean, I literally have a pad in my car right now. That's in the swear to God, it goes with me everywhere. So it's those big football. You can buy them at Dick's too. If you're a youth coach or something like that, you can go buy one of those. And it's just perfect. It's just, the reason I bought it is I used to just go on and bang and do that with me. I'm too old to do that, man. I'll get a bruise or something. It's like, and there's guys like Jake Ferguson who's like playing tight end for the Badgers.
Yep.
He used to see me in there. It's like his eyes would get about this big, about the size of a grapefruit. It's like you could kill me. I swear to God, Jake laughs about that. I'd get out of the way. I'd have one of my assistants do it. But
Exactly.
those pads help. It's a holding football pad. Everyone's kind of seen them. It's what
Right.
Yeah.
The last thing is there are, besides just actually doing the finishing piece, the technique of finishing. I think often even high school players and even collegiate players, 2 points of finishing where a lot of players make mistakes is their eyes. Right before they lay it in, they take their eyes off off their target. That's where a lot of guys miss. They take their eyes off. They're so concerned. They forget to take that 1 second to really look at their target before they finish, and they miss the shot.
Yeah, and I think you and I grew up in an era where you're supposed to shoot stuff close to the basket always the same way, and you never do that.
No, you don't. That's a fallacy for sure.
Right. That you have to be able to, maybe you shoot on the right side with your left hand. I'm not saying you should do that most, but sometimes maybe you're getting leveled on this side and you got to come over and there's no one in the middle of the paint. It's okay. You got to practice variability is what I'm telling you.
Right. Instead of more of the repetition of the same placement every time, it's this idea of getting good at the technique of finishing. So always having your eyes, because in a game you're going to be moving, and you might, like you said, move with your left. You're on the right side, but you're floating with your left hand. But if you still have if you still have your shoulders squared to the rim or squared to the backboard, and you have your good eye focus, and you're not really worried about the contact, you're really worried about finishing, this idea of finishing and focus. It's that mental toughness, that mental focus that really makes finishing. Those guys that can really finish around the rim, it's more mental. It's kind of like free throw shooting in a way.
It is. It's very difficult. Yeah. All right. Anything else, Coach?
Nope.
All right. That's good. All right.
Thank
Stay
you.
warm.
You got it.
Bye.
Hey, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that. Take 15 seconds. Go down. Leave a 5-star review. Pretty please. And we are able to bring you all these podcasts because of teachhoops.com. I'm able to sneak off into my office and do it because teachhoops.com is allowing me the time and the resources to do that. So go over and check it out. 14-day free trial. Be a way for you to give back. Happy holidays. Bye.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.